Hello, Taurus friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Taurus June 2023 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is for you if Taurus is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other placement of Taurus that you're listening for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Taurus friend, so birthdays like May 15th through the rest of the sign, or Taurus placement around 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Gemini report, as both the Taurus and Gemini reports will have pieces for you very late degree friends. I'm calling the theme of June 2023 for Taurus, Worlds of Opportunity Blast Open for Taurus. And I'm going to go into the specifics as to why I'm saying that. Also, I'm going to give you some very important general transit information to help you understand the mood and opportunities of the month. We have another month where we have more sweet aspects compared to salty ones, and that's always a blessing. So we do have some road bumps to get through, but we do have lots of sweet connections where the planets are getting along and in harmony. We're also easing out of the heat of eclipse season, and especially for Taurus, this is going to be good news because you all have been in the hot seat since the end of 2021 when the Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle began. So every 6 months, starting from that first eclipse, you all have been in the hot seat, and it hasn't ever really gone away even between those heated up times. It's been this ongoing story of transformation, of shuffling around your stuff versus other people's stuff, of your autonomy versus shared connections, and lots of money stories and security stories. It's been very, very intense with a lot of brilliant hellos and a lot of tearful goodbyes, I'm sure, for many of you. So although some news can still come in and events can still come in from that April and May eclipse series, June, the eclipse energies start to wane a bit, and you can feel a little bit more relaxed and less like you have your finger stuck in an electric socket. If you haven't already listened to my April and May reports, I suggest you do that because I outline more about the eclipses and how those might be affecting you, because we have the Scorpio eclipse in May, which is part of that Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle. And then we have the new eclipse series that started in April, which is the Aries-Libra eclipse series. And I'm not going to go into all of that now, but it is still affecting us in this period of time of June. So you can check that out. But for now, what we need to know most for this month is that some news and developments may still be coming in from the eclipses, but we're starting to step out of the intensity of it. And we're also stepping out of the fog of Mercury retrograde that covered us in April and May, so that it might be easier to make decisions about the changes that had come and the opportunities that had presented. As we get into June, it'll be a little bit more clear as to what the implications of those changes might mean and what you may want to do with those options. One of the most important things to know about this month is that from June 1st through June 19th, we have the last open period free from personal planet retrogrades and their shadow periods for a while. Because on June 19th, the pre-transit shadow period before Venus retrograde begins, and Venus rules love and romance and relationships, and finances and money and budget and income, and self-esteem and beauty and design and more. And of course, stepping into that Venus retrograde cycle is going to be especially relevant for you all since you are ruled by Venus. We'll talk more about that in the months to come because this retrograde cycle will be in effect from the end of June into October. So it's going to be very long, and it's going to be very different than these first few weeks in June. So take full advantage of these times or these weeks, because it's when the tides are moving out, when things are moving out and forward. Whereas towards the end of the month and then for a long time to come, things are moving inward and backward. So if you have to, blast something out, launches, especially for brand new things, anything having to do with big decisions, big moves, things that you want to have a forward moving imprint on for the duration of their time, those are the kind of things you want to take advantage of from June 1st. And I'd say even especially for the first 2 weeks, there's especially great moving forward energy before we start to get into that shadow period. But we do really have until the 19th until it really starts turning. I definitely suggest that being ruled by Venus, you get really well educated about Venus retrograde. I will be giving you tidbits along the way as we're going through, but this is one of my areas of expertise. So definitely look up my resources on the subject. Look up Annie Botticelli, Venus retrograde, the YouTube video. Go to anniehelpsyou.com, look at my blogs of the do's and don'ts and my Venus retrograde through the signs and houses series to help you become well equipped. Also, if you don't have my book already, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, I do have lots of information about retrogrades and including Venus retrograde and how to make the most of this period of time in that book. And it can be wonderful. It's nothing to fear. It's just different energy than we have in the first 3 weeks of June. And the more you understand the differences, the more you can align with what's best to do and what's best to avoid. Okay, so now we can get into the theme, Worlds of Opportunity blast open for Taurus, and take this piece by piece. The first thing to know is that similar to May, we still have a massive amount of short and long-term energy of planets moving through Taurus. So you've got a lot of conjunctions and planets speaking your language, which are bringing untold opportunities. Jupiter being there for a year is opening up this possibility of stronger financial foundations. If you already have strong financial foundations, it can exponentially increase and amplify your financial picture. The transiting North Node is there. So, similar to this eclipse series, you figuring out what your highest expression is in this lifetime and burning off the karma that's interfering with you stepping into your highest expression in this lifetime. And a lot of that's going to be relationship karma. Okay, so that's another world of opportunity blasting open, that from this eclipse in Scorpio that happened in May, you shook off a lot of this web of karma, which may open you to freer and better relationships. There might be some things you have to do to take an active role in that karmic clearing, like by seeing different perspectives and looking at things in different ways. But some of it might just happen on its own, where you just see things differently as a result of the transit. Worlds of opportunity are also opening up as it relates to the energy of Mercury. Mercury is going to move into Gemini this month, but it is going to spend time continuing through Taurus, your sign. So information, records, record keeping, any tedious kind of administrative things you have to get done, anything you need focus for, those kind of things are open as a wonderful world of opportunity at this time. And usually we have a lot of spinning out Gemini energy, which we do have this month, and I'm going to get to that. But there is an exorbitant amount of Taurus kind of grounding it out, which can help make the energy and the possibilities more usable. One of the storylines of this month and extended out, for the year that Jupiter is in Taurus, has to do with narrowing down options. If there's any area in your life where you've kind of gotten your fingers in too many pudding pies and it's hard to keep up, this is a time where you're starting to discern down which are the things you want to put your full power behind. And so that discernment process might result in you making some big decisions this month. And then, being able to be extra productive with the things you choose, having pared down your energetic focus to very specific things. There are also worlds of opportunity opening up for your home and family, and your sacred flame. Star goddess Vesta, also in Taurus, rules the sacred flame, that fire that is your passion for life and your passion for purpose. So there are definitely opportunities opening up there to get more in tune with that, or to have blessings from your family or housing situation or real estate. And all of these Taurus energies are in your first house, the first house of Aries. So everything Aries ruled is also opening up worlds of opportunity. And this is your physical body. This is your image. This is your clarity of purpose. This is what you're presenting yourself as, your certainty in yourself, your self-esteem. This can have to do with your health and your relationship with your physical body. So there are opportunities opening in all of those arenas as well. Now, another place where you have opportunities is in your second house of finances. Now, interestingly, all of these Taurus placements I've been talking about, that Taurus energy rules the second house of money. So you're having like a lot of lines of energy around these storylines. But in addition to that, all of the Gemini placements now are lighting up your financial sector as well. Your self-sufficiency, your sustainability, making things with your hands, anything having to do with your ecological imprint, your alignment with the natural rhythms of the universe. All of that has a beautiful spotlight from the sun being there, and also star goddess Juno, giving some suggestions with how you can pair up for your greatest success. Writing, speaking, prolific expression can come from all of this Gemini energy. Mercury will get into Gemini this month, and all of that is flooding your second house as well. The new moon in Gemini in the days around June 18th is also another facet of energy in this new beginnings for your foundations, making it a really great time to start a budget, start savings, ask for more money, start a business, especially in the first few weeks. Check out your spending, be honest with yourself about all of those things. Possibly get some material items you've been wanting, or paring down, something going on with your relationship to the material realm. The next worlds of opportunity we have blasting open for Taurus have to do with the Leo energies. We've got not only Mars, but now Venus moving through Leo, and they will be in close proximity for part of the month. And all of this is accentuating your fourth house of home and family and real estate. We talked about some blessings from Star Goddess Vesta in those arenas as well. And now you have this sizzling creativity giving you creative solutions to anything related to problems in your home and family, or real estate or housing or home-based business, or just a lot of zest for your home space, or a lot of zest to try to move. This also could be a great month to move if that's what you've been wanting to do. You might find yourself getting really hot on your ancestral storyline or childhood psychology. Wherever Mars is, a lot of energy flows, and sometimes obsessive energy. So, it looks like you may be obsessing over something in the home, family, housing, real estate sector. In the days around June 3rd, we've got a 13-degree full moon in Sagittarius, bringing fullness, completion, fruition, possibly drama to anything around education. Maybe someone in your family is graduating, or anything having to do with long-distance travel, international business, immigration, writing, publishing, speaking, new horizons being broadened, travel of any kind, different languages. So all of those things are open for opportunities, especially in the earlier part of the month. And the house that this full moon happens in has to do with your very deep relationships and relationships with money, including debt, inheritances, windfalls of money, credits, anything having to do with shared spousal or familial money. A new, but not short-term, entrance into your astrological scene has to do with Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's going to be there for like 20 years, over 20 years, around 20 years. And this is telling you grow or die as it relates to your work, your employment, your place out in the world. Always remember that, even though many of you, this is going to be about employment, job, career. For some of you, this might manifest as passion project, you just doing your work out in the world, whether you make money or not. But you're going to have a very long period of time where this message, grow or die, where you want to rest on your laurels, but you're not going to be able to because Pluto is egging you on. Ways that worked before might not necessarily work now, and new, inventive, futuristic, technological aspects, applying those to your business might be, the biggest, best things that you can do to, blast the potentials wide open for your business. And that's very long term. Now, as an astrologer, I know that this energy is present, but as an individual, I've also been feeling this because since 2008, I've had Pluto around then, for a long time, I've had Pluto in my 10th house, and it's just getting finished with that transit for me. So, so I'm there personally, not just, understanding this professionally. So it's kind of what can happen to your career and work in this time is nothing short of unbelievable, especially if you show up to do the work and grow. Different people will have different stories, of course, with this Pluto timeline, but just to kind of give you an example, over the time that Pluto has spent in my 10th house, I went from doing astrology pretty much as a hobby, doing it for free for years because I liked it. I had another business that was paying for things for me. And so I went from doing that to having over 14 million views to my YouTube channel, and so much more. A book on the shelves at all major booksellers. It's been quite a ride. So that's just, one person's example of what can go on in your work and career and passion project sector with this nuclear, atomic, personal generator of energy that you have in your work sector for decades to come. Some other opportunities that are blowing wide open for Taurus have to do with applying a lot of discernment to your friendships and your groups, and also getting really disciplined with applying technology to every aspect of your life. Now, there are multiple ways that this storyline of technology is coming in for you. It doesn't have to be the all-encompassing thing. You don't have to not have balance in your life. But there are a lot of ways that technology is going to come into play in many arenas for everybody, but specifically in these areas that we're talking about for Taurus, applying discipline to learning about these things and using them, is going to be a very big storyline as Saturn moves through your 11th house over the next few years. Neptune has been in Pisces for a very long time, and it still has longer to go. But there are also these opportunities for you getting in more touch with your intuition. You could call it your gut. And also for you to connect ethereal messages to your practical daily experience. If you want to know more about how the stars might affect your experience and how you can make the most of the starry possibilities, definitely join my free VIP community at anniehelpsyou.com. Just put your email and name there, and you'll open a world more goodies to be in my crew. You'll get my write-up 1 month early of my Be Awareful and Careful dates and transits, my favorite dates and transits of the month, a written overview of the month, links to my written horoscopes, and special promos and all kinds of things that you get there, including my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine, which is very extensive and is free to you as a member of my VIP community. So you can see that at anniehelpsyou.com. You can also see other ways to connect with my free work, and you can see other offerings that I have, including other ways to learn astrology with me, including my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. So you can go straight to that page also at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. I can help you to take your love of the stars and convert it into income, that you can have your sustenance from doing what you love. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.